Hello everybody, this is Monty with Flowers by the Bunch. Today I need to make an arrangement that's a low compact arrangement to be placed on a coffee table for, I don't even know what it's for, but it's for a coffee table. I believe it's for a birthday. They wanted a low compact arrangement in shades of white, pink, and green, so that's what we're gonna make. This is just a glass vase. I don't even know what the name of it is, but it's just a glass vase we ordered in. It has fresh floral food in the fresh water. I'm going to start out with a little bit of leather leaf. I'm pulling the bottom leaves off the leather, cutting that at an angle and just placing it right into that fresh water. I'm not going to put a whole lot of leather, just a little, to just help give me a little bit of a grid. Now this piece has a broken tip. I'm just going to pop that tip off, and I'm still going to use this greenery because it's still just fine. So I tucked that right in. So you see, I didn't use a whole lot of leather leaf. They really wanted hydrangeas. Hydrangeas was a request. I'm going to take this hydrangea, remove any of that foliage, cut it at an angle, and dip it in Quick Dip. Quick Dip is just a hydrating solution that helps keep those hydrangeas hydrated and their heads firm. The flowers sometimes when it doesn't have enough water, you can visually see it, but you can certainly feel it. The head is not firm at all. It's pretty limp. It's very thirsty. Hydrangeas are extreme water drinkers, which is really what we all need to be, right? I'm going to remove any of those leaves, and the reason we remove the leaves is strictly because the water comes up that stem and hydrates the leaf first before it hydrates the head. And so if you remove those leaves, it gets to bypass having to water the leaves. All right, so I just put a wad of white hydrangeas in there. Next I'm going to come in with some pink Alstroemeria lilies. I'm just removing some of these leaves just because they don't all look the prettiest, cutting that stem at an angle and just tucking that Alstroemeria lily right beside those hydrangeas. Now astros are very long lasting flowers. I will not say they're my favorite, but it really works. It adds color to the arrangement. It lasts a long time, and so both of those things are wins. They're fairly inexpensive flowers, but I don't use them a whole lot in our shop. Okay, so 3 stems of astros just kind of tucked in. Next I'm going to come in with some white lilies. Now my lilies are very tight. These are oriental lilies. Because I can see the pollen down in those lilies, I am going to go ahead and remove that pollen. Very carefully, just pull that pollen right out of that lily. Now this just helps to keep that lily pretty. When pollen opens, it makes everything really yellow. So I just like to remove the pollen. But you have to be kind of careful because you'll mark that lily. If you put a crease or anything like that, it'll mark that lily. Okay, I'm going to take my floral knife, cut that in an angle, and just nestle that lily right down into that hydrangea. These are really tight buds. I'm not going to be able to remove the pollen from them, but I like that they have that pretty green on the outside of those lilies. And she also requested pretty lilies in her arrangement. Now these will open up, and the best part about lilies, the part that I love the most, is that they open up over time. So you see your arrangement change as it arrives at your home, and you keep it for several days. You see the process of it going from a bud into an open flower, and I really love that. I just think it's so nice and fun to see how the flower changes. So these are cushion mums, cushion palms. They are in the chrysanthemum family. Now the reason I chose this one in particular is it has that green center, that little green center, because she asked for green and I thought, oh, these are perfect. These will work perfectly in our little arrangement. Now I'm removing a few of these buds, and that's just strictly because they're just too low in my arrangement. Now you can keep those little buds and add those to a sweet little bud vase. If you've got a fun little container, you can tuck those right into that container. But otherwise, you might just want to just throw those away. I like to add them to a little vase and stick them in the bathroom or wherever, but they're still a sweet little flower. Okay, so there's our little mums tucked in. Mums, lilies, astros, hydrangeas. Next we're going to come in with some pretty pink roses. I don't know the variety of this rose, but a pretty large head. I'm removing any of the petals that are bumped or bruised. I'm gonna cut it short. So because these roses are going to be nestled short down into an arrangement, I am not going to wire them. Most often you see me wire a rose, but because these are gonna be short, I'm not gonna worry about adding a wire to them. I'm removing any of the foliage that might fall below that water line, removing any of those petals that have a bump or a bruise. And you can just nestle those guys right down into that arrangement. All right, so there are our pretty mixed flowers. I do have some pretty green Hypericum berries, or coffee berries they're also called. I stripped off any foliage, and I'm just going to, any foliage that was low on that stem, just going to nestle those down into that hydrangea. We've got some green dragon, which is perfect because it's that pretty green color that she asked for. It gives us a little bit of a filler flower effect. And I'm just gonna come around the base and just kind of tuck it right into that hydrangea and kind of ring it. As a finishing touch, I added a little bit of silver dollar eucalyptus and some spiral or baby blue euc, and that finished the arrangement. Guys, thank you so much for being here with us today. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon. If you have any questions about how we made this arrangement or anything about the flower shop, don't hesitate to ask that down below in the comments. Also, please give us a follow if you haven't followed us. Subscribe to our channel, and be sure to check out our live videos. We're doing those now. Hope you have a wonderful day. We'll see you real soon.